A coroner's jury looking into the death of a man in the Victoria Police Jail heard conflicting evidence today about why he wasn't medically checked before being locked up. Kevin Vigar was an admitted alcoholic, and on the last Saturday in June 2009, he was arrested for being drunk in public. Police say he was taken to jail to give him a safe place to sleep. He died later that night. A-News reporter Stephen Andrew was in the courtroom today. He joins us now with more on day 2 of the inquest. Stephen?
Eric, the 48-year-old was an admitted alcoholic with a number of serious medical conditions, but none of that was known to police or paramedics. One of the questions the jury appears to be asking now, could knowing that information have saved his life? On the day Kevin Vigar died in police cells, his afternoon of drinking began here at the government liquor store on Hillside Avenue. William Joseph and Veronica Baker were arrested along with Vigar for being drunk in public on that evening. Within an hour of appearing at the inquest today, Baker was back at that same liquor store. William Joseph told the jury that he made 3 trips to buy alcohol at the government store on that fateful day, and he would have been clearly intoxicated. Victoria Police Jail Guard Basilio Cyanan told the inquest when Kevin Vigar was brought into cells, he could not articulate if he was okay. The guard said he didn't call an ambulance to have him checked because one of the arresting officers said Vigar had been assessed by paramedics. Yesterday, police and paramedics testified Vigar had not been medically checked. Within an hour of Kevin Vigar being dragged into a police cell, he had stopped breathing. An autopsy revealed he died from alcohol poisoning. He was discovered by the sergeant in charge of police cells during a random check. The inquest heard his face was blue, he wasn't breathing, and the inside of his mouth was extremely white due to a lack of oxygen. The jury heard how paramedics, police, and firefighters worked for more than 20 minutes to revive Vigar, trying to shock him with a defibrillator, but the efforts were futile. Jail guard Cyanan told the inquest he has more medical training than police officers, but the inquest was told not as much as life support paramedics. That prompted one jury member to ask if a full-time nurse should be on duty in the jail. But the sergeant who was in charge of police cells on the night that Kevin Vigar died says it would simply be impractical to take every person who had been drinking to be evaluated by a nurse or to hospital. A representative at the sobering center, along with the brother of Kevin Vigar, are expected to testify tomorrow. The jury then begins deliberation and is expected to present recommendations on how further deaths in police cells can be avoided. And the jury asked an advanced life paramedic today if officers in the Victoria Police Department are well trained, Eric, when it comes to using CPR and using defibrillators. The paramedic testified that they are very well trained. He told the jury that people often walk out of hospitals simply because big PD officers do it right.
And we can expect to hear more in the coming days?
It should wrap up tomorrow, Eric, and that's when the jury begins its deliberations.
Stephen Andrew reporting. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.